Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. Sign up for the free membership or register here. Click on there, put your email address, put a username, and it's free, guys. StockBookie.com. Go there, sign up, register, and you'll have access to our live streaming sessions, swing trade positions, swing trades, technical analysis videos. So all of it's here, StockBookie.com. Come by, check us out, register. It's free. All right, let's get this out of here. Let's go into the daily SPY, and you know what? Another non-eventful day, guys. 9 cents up, 57 million, lighter than yesterday. And we're chopping around up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days sideways. We're coming up to this upsloping trend line. Let's see, I'd say maybe 2 or 3, maybe next week sometime, maybe push it up. But again, bullish, needs to go sideways, pop up, all-time high, 240.32, and then into the next level, which is right around 243.14. As we go down the line here, this level is going to get a little higher, a little higher. So right now, you know, I would say 245 area, 240. You know, right up in there, and if it goes higher, 250, then 252, right up in there. Again, once we get up there, we'll reevaluate the charts, and we'll put some new areas of resistance. If you're more on the bearish side, needs to consolidate, and this pattern fail, of course, then come down, needs to get below these gap fills, below the MAs, fill the gap, double bottom, and then we'll take it from there to see what kind of a pattern. I'm still thinking down in this area, somewhere around 220. There is a gap fill here right around 223 as well, but we'll keep an eye on it, see what this pattern gives us. Again, 57 million on the day, guys. No participation. IWM, down, inside bar pattern. We talked about getting above here, above this trend line. It was going for it a couple days ago, and it was like, wow, this thing might actually break up and start hitting these areas of resistance. So, bam, came up, came in, tried it again, then the next day, boom, down. This reversal, I like to see that. I would have loved to have seen big volume on it, but I'll take what they give us right now. Inside bar bearish pattern. Even though you're above the MAs, it's a little bit bullish, you know, a little bit both ways here. But this pattern here is showing it's starting to get a little bearish. So beware. Again, bullish. Got to get above the all-time highs now, which are up here right around actually 141.82. And if it gets above there, then you got the 142, 143 area, 145, possibly 150 if it moves up. If you're a bear, you want this pattern to start playing out, the inside bar, bearish pattern. This starts coming in. We're looking at getting below the MAs here, and then possibly getting below the 200 MA. But when it's all over and this thing comes back, it could happen tomorrow, the start of it, who knows? Just beware, guys. We're in that time frame where anything can happen. But if it comes down this way, we'll see how it reacts to these areas down here. Double bottom, gap fill. Well, that might not. It's close to a gap fill. But especially here around the 200 moving average, if you go back, you got the gap fill and the double bottom gap fill. You got some gaps to fill down here. I still think we're going down to the November lows eventually down the road. Again, light volume day. Nothing to brag about, but trying to keep these things buoyant, guys. We did have Apple today earnings. They were down a little bit. AMD got smoked, and you know, markets weren't that bad overall. SPY's down 20 cents after hour, and that's because of Apple. But I wouldn't doubt the thing goes green and they stay, you know, keep it up for another couple of weeks. But who knows at this point? Again, we're in the time frame where anything can happen. But the Qs, guys, nothing wrong. Just other than it's a little extended, and then you got the gap in there, and then it just kept going. Guys, look at this. They gapped it above the all-time high, which is actually resistance. It's like magic, guys. Don't want to deal with it, because if we grind it up into that area, it could possibly pull back from there. So instead of going into a pullback area, they gap it over. No resistance up here because there's no charts. We get 7 days up into Apple's earnings and Facebook and Tesla tomorrow too. Tesla I could care less about, but Facebook's the one that can actually work with these markets on the light volume. The Qs were down 36 after hour. Nothing big. We'll have to see what it brings tomorrow. You know, we'll probably get another rally for all I know in the light volume. Again, 18 million on the Qs. Look at that, guys. Disappearing, even with the earnings. We'll see if the volume picks up tomorrow. You know, just keep an eye on the SPY volume. That's the one we keep an eye on. The DIA, same thing. We got 6 days sideways up, bullish manner, above the MAs, but a lot of times, you run into this resistance of the consolidation at the highs. That can, it's got to really have some good volume action to see if it could keep pushing. And it should have kept going. They should have kept it going, try to get it into this area, and then consolidate it to see if you could pop through. But this consolidation, guys, 6 days sideways. We'll look for another couple days, maybe in the next week, to see if these MAs can possibly push this thing up with the trend line, just like the SPY. So it's really, really close. But we're back inside this bar right now. So that's a little bit bearish, and we'll see a little tail up here. It's not at the all-time high, but we'll keep an eye on the DIA. Again, guys, no volume. Keep an eye on that. All right, let's get into the IYT. IYT had a nice little rally day today. It was up $1.43, and out of the blue catches a bid, and it's like, whoa, 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 wait a minute here. Remember this pattern, bullish, 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 and it finally took off. And then the kind of markets kind of grinded higher, and this was all great. We got to keep an eye on this one now, guys. We are back above the 20 MA. We're shooting for the 50 MA right here. We are into the 618. 750 is coming up too. So let's see what this one brings in the next couple days. Do we actually recapture the MAs and start going up on a shallow pullback? This isn't a bad setup, guys. Bear or bullish. But we'll have to see. It's got to get above the MAs and above this high, and then of course it could start breaking out and going for the 173.88, then 175, then 180 possibly. But again, still waiting on pattern, not telling us too much. But overall, though, you're down, you're sideways in a slightly bearish manner. But this is slightly bullish. I would have liked it stayed over the 50 MA and then keep going sideways and then the pop. But tomorrow and the next, we'll see with Apple down. We'll see how that reacts, and Facebook tomorrow. So there's a lot of news coming out, so you got to really keep an eye on that stuff. But again, light volume, so that's something to watch in these markets. Let's go to the USO. So the USO, man, I looked at this earlier, but my gosh, we came back to double bottom, which was at 988 or so. It did get a bounce, so you'd expect it. This bearish pattern wasn't the best, but it was still kind of choppy sideways, and it's starting to fall in this area. You still have a couple trend lines too, which it fell below as well. So let's keep an eye on this stuff. This was just connect the lows right here. Let me pull that out a little bit. So we cracked through that, and the bottom line is for the bulls, you got to get back. You got to see a good reversal candle possibly with some volume. So maybe even a full reversal, close up in here and start going. But right now, I'm waiting for pattern, guys. Another down move, just like in here. We kind of chopped. Next down move. Let's see if we chop and retrace. I would maybe look to 1045, but we'll do a little more work to this. But up into this area as well, probably the 618, 750 goes into there, comes right up to the breakdown, and then comes right back down. Again, this is one that's been doing that, so let's keep an eye on it. Look at that. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But is this the time where it cracks this big trend line? This is getting interesting to me, guys. I think we're coming down to this area here. From the 892, $9, then we're coming to double bottom again. And I think it's going to be one of those click, click, and then, just start going. So, again, though, let's see if this brings a pattern here, or does it come right down? Again, Wednesday, inventory numbers or whatever the heck they come out with. So that will make this thing go up or down. I did sell the rest of my SCO position. I just don't, if it goes down, so be it. We had a great trade. I hate to see that, but I am still in a quarter position of the USO. We were covering as it went down here, moved up, and I should have added more. Instead, I did the SCO. We're out of that trade, and this trade came right back in for the quarter position. And let's see if we get another buck out of it or so. I would love to see double bottom, but again, wishful thinking. USO, got to see more. But this red candle could lead to lower prices. If not, then we're looking for a pattern inside this bar and see how this thing sets up in the next week or two. That's how you have to play it right now. I mean, other than if it goes straight down, then we'll start looking for support, possibly for a bounce. But man, you got double pivot down here. A lot of people were asking me today. You got the $9 to the $8.89. You got this pivot here around 8.15, and then ultimately 770, 768, right in that area. So keep an eye on that. If you want to go long USO, let's try to be real patient on these trades because these can move pretty good. So, All right, let's look at the UUP. UUP, 4 cents down on the day. We've been talking about this bearish pattern, and it's setting up like the bullish patterns up on top on the SPY and everything. So what I'm thinking is, if this pattern fails, this will go up. If the bullish patterns fail on the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, and the DIA, boom, we're coming straight down. So this is interesting that it's setting up like this. I still think we have possibly one more move down, but if it goes up from here and starts cracking, then it's going up without me, guys. I still like it down in this area. And for a $25 stock, I got to wait patiently for this. I'm in a lot of positions anyway, so still making money out there, scalping and doing all that, so it really doesn't matter. Let's look at the GLD. GLD came into 2 cents today. It wasn't bad. You know, I'm looking at this. We did close slightly above the 200 MA, so we're above the 50 and the 200, barely. So let's see if we come back up tomorrow. Again, we had a nice little shoot up off that bullish pattern, and then it pulled right back into the pattern and into double top. So that's a lot of support down there. So let's see if this continues back up now. So after this nice little fade pullback, or does it come down into the gap fill area, 114, and start breaking down until the next, launch, which gold will be going up. Big area for this one is this trend line down in here. Since you have it here, you have it here, and then one there. Will it break through, or will it hold and go up and do it one more time and then break down? So keep an eye on gold. So far, so good. We pulled half a position off up here, came back, holding this steady. We're in the driver's seat, guys. So tighten the stop up a little bit. Make sure your stop's in the money at least. Your mental stop to say, hey, I'm going to stop out at 16 bucks. If it comes down to 114, one in this area, I'll start buying more. We'll see. We'll see what it does with this gap fill, stuff like that, because that could bounce. Right now, we're just waiting for pattern, guys. That's all we're really doing. But it doesn't look that bad, though. I do like the fact that it pulled back and needed a little bit of rest. And but I want to see if this area holds up in here. That's what we're really looking at. All right, guys, let's go into the Jnug. Jnug down a little tiny bit, but it's coming towards double bottom. This would have been your 384 area, but now it's 1512 or so, or however that works with I think it was that. I don't even know. It was on the other chart, but yeah, that's double bottom coming up. We talked about it. So, it breaks through this, breaks through that, comes to the 484 level or $4 level, whatever that was. This one now it's 1389. Boom, that's starting to break down. So it's looking more like double bottom right here, guys. And then if that breaks, you got some lower areas down in here. So you got to be real careful with this one, guys. I still think gold's going to get a little bit of a bid, but that's me. And this one works off the Gdxj, which is one of the miners, I believe. So let's do that one too. So Gdxj. I'm getting more familiar with this one. You still have a gap fill here. You still have a gap fill down here with double bottom. So this could still reach down to this area. So let's give it some time. Let's see what happens. Again, I'm already long in gold, half out. If you're not long the Gdxj or Jnug yet, see if we could get a little bit lower. I know it's probably splitting hairs at this point. If you want to add a little bit here, if we get down to this gap, add a little bit more down in here, or wait real patiently for double bottom if it makes it there. But also what this thing can do is come down to here and just hold this pivot right now. So I'm going to stick this line in there as well to say, hey, there's a pivot area there. So you got pretty good resistance. Let's see if it can crack through it, and then the Jnug will possibly go up. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. We did a live session. It was fun. We went over a lot of stocks. We were in after-hours action with Apple earnings and a couple other ones, just watching those to see if we could get a bounce. Twilio went off. That thing's just getting smoked. Pretty crazy stuff today, guys. But complacent markets, no volume. Expect more floats. If we get this, gets more volume, expect some more selling. That's what I'm looking at here today on 5/2/2017, guys. All right. Thanks again, guys, for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. God bless. See you on the charts.